Good morning. I am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my morning political thought, which is my third one for this week. As some of you may know, the morning political thought is the supplement to the Purple Elephant Show. And hey, this is something that I really think more Trump supporters should start doing based off of the title. And since we're talking about legal and everything else, because I'm sure you read the title, Trump supporters should start suing, I need to bring up Facebook because back a few days ago, I mentioned Facebook had suspended my account and they were asking for more verification and things like that. And I said they had 7 days to wait and 7 days to correct everything. I'm glad I didn't jump the gun and, just go in because they cleared everything up within about 3 days. So it's perfect for now. I was already apprehensive dealing with Facebook due to the things I've seen and heard, but now everything is good. The Purple Elephant Show page on Facebook is not suspended anymore. It's good to go for now. When it comes to legal, I already know we live in a litigious society. And I'm not saying sue for every little thing. What I am saying is that there comes a time where enough is enough. Recently, there were a few lawsuits filed, and it was over the Black Lives Matter mural. And before I go into that, I'm going to tell you a little quick story. When I was a young adult, I stayed with my cousins for a while. And when I stayed with my cousins, the grandkids, there were 5 grandkids, even though they didn't technically live in the house, they were there all the time. And it was amazing because nothing ever stayed clean. If you clean up a mess, it would be dirty in 10 to 15 minutes. Again. But one day, I went to the pizza place because I wanted to play video games and I wanted to eat pizza. Well, when I was on my way to the pizza place, 2 of the 5 grandkids were in my sight. And they were like, "Hey, where are you going?" I'm like, "Pizza place, video games." They're like, "Can I come?" I'm like, "I don't care. Come on." So I took the 2 grandkids that were in my sight with me to the pizza place and we played video games, had a good time. Came back, a few hours later. One of the mothers of the kids came to me and said, "Why didn't you take the other kids?" I was like, "Because they weren't in my sight. I was going out the door and I wasn't about to round up 5 kids to take them with me to the pizza place and play video games." And she said, "No." She's like, "Either all of them go or none of them go. Because the 3 kids that you left at the house, it's not fair to them that they didn't get to eat pizza and play video games. And the other 2 kids got to go and eat pizza and play video games." And when she said that, I was like, okay, understood. So anytime I went anywhere, if one grandkid was like, "Hey, I want to go," if I had the extra money or whatever, I was like, okay, round up all the other ones and then we'll all go. Or either I would be like, "Hey, no, you got to stay here." It's a thing of being treated fairly. With the Black Lives Matter mural, I'm sure you heard back in July in Redwood City, California, or Redwood, California, they removed the mural because a real estate attorney brought it to their attention saying, "Hey, if they can do this, if you can turn an open street, a public street, into a political message, then I want to put my political message on a street. And then they removed the Black Lives Matter mural here in California in Redwood. Bill de Blasio, mayor of New York, has been sued twice, one by a conservative women's group back in July, and then by a Blue Lives Matter group in August, because both of those groups are saying if you can do that on a public street and make it a political message, we should have the same rights. We should be treated fairly. This isn't a two-tier, two-class type thing. Trump supporters need to sue more. The reason I decided to do this video is because of a video that was posted by a young lady on Twitter. I did not catch her name, and I wish I would have caught it, because it was a really sad situation. She was staying at a hotel, and she had on a mask. She was wearing her mask when she came in, and the mask showed that she supported the president. Later that night, she was asked to leave the hotel because the hotel said that she was banging on doors and being disruptive. But she said she never did that. She said she went to her hotel room, watched a few things, ate some food, and that was it. But the hotel was saying, no, they've received complaints of her banging on doors. So they escorted her and kicked her out of the hotel, pretty much. And she had to go to a different hotel. And during that video, I believe it was posted or retweeted on Adam Krigler's feed. So for those of you who follow Adam Krigler, he is or was affiliated with Tim Pool of Timcast, and now Adam is doing his own thing, and I wish him much success, just like I wish Tim much success. Both of them are amazing in their own right. If you check Adam's feed, I'm pretty sure it's on there. But regardless, I came across it. And coming across that isn't the first time I've heard something where someone who has supported the president or someone who is conservative leaning has been treated differently when dealing with a business. The larger reason for me doing this video is to let you know just a little bit more about business, just a little bit, with how businesses work. First of all, not all businesses have attorneys available. For the smaller businesses, they might have an in-house general counsel, but they're usually dealing with more specialty stuff with whatever that business deals with, not necessarily all the times they get sued. And if they are dealing with the times that the business is sued, it would be very uncomfortable and very overwhelming to receive lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, having to deal with that, because that will take them away from their daily activities related to the other things with the company when it comes to in-house counsel. For larger businesses, they more than likely will have an in-house counsel, or either they'll have a large firm on retainer and all that stuff. The thing is that when you sue a business, if you win, usually insurance intervenes. There are all types of insurance. There is a type of insurance where if you make an error or mess up, the insurance company will pay for it. It's called E&O, Error and Omissions Insurance. I know about this because I used to run a travel agency. And it was where if I booked a ticket and someone wanted to go to Greenville, South Carolina, but I booked them for Greenville, North Carolina, and I screwed up their trip, and they were like, hey, I'm going to sue you, the Errors and Omissions Insurance would cover my mess up. When insurance has to pay out claims of lawsuits, the job of an insurance company, one of my attorneys told me, an insurance company's main job is not to pay. That is their job, not to pay. If businesses are constantly sued and they start to lose over and over and over again, and the insurance company has to pay it out, eventually the rate will go up. Their premiums will go up, or the insurance company will say, hey, you're too much of a risk. We won't insure you anymore, is what will happen with insurance companies. Same thing with if you drive a car. If you drive a car and you get into an accident, your rates are probably going to go up. If you get into an accident while driving drunk, more than likely you're going to get hit with an SR. I believe it's called SR22. I don't drink, but I've heard stories from associates. But I believe it's called SR22, where your insurance is ridiculously high for an auto insurance company to carry you. For these businesses, if they get hit with suits, eventually they're going to put out a memorandum to their employees saying, hey, start treating people fairly regardless of their political beliefs, or find a new place to work, because this is costing us too much money. We can't even get insurance. Or either this is adding an additional workload to our in-house counsel where they can't focus on the daily things that the company does that we need their assistance with, the specialty stuff. I want people to take a stand. Now, as I said before, I know we already live in a litigious society. I'm not talking about suing for every little thing, but that situation where the young lady was thrown out of the hotel and the hotel said that they received calls of her banging on doors, that is a lawsuit. Simply because now they could throw her out for something else, but they messed up when they said she was banging on doors, because now you've opened up the door to say, okay, I need to see the security footage. That's what her attorney would say. I need to see the security footage. Also, we need to get people under oath. We need to do some depositions. Who are those calls that you received? I need to depose them. I need to start that process. And I know some of you are saying, well, wait a second, attorneys cost money. Not always. There's this thing called contingency, where an attorney doesn't get paid unless you get paid. And a lot of attorneys out there, I've noticed, are willing to do contingencies, things on contingency. The next thing some people may say is, well, I don't know how to find an attorney that will take my case on contingency. All you have to do is look them up. Tell them what it is. Most attorneys, I probably say easily over 90% of attorneys, will at least hear what your case is and say, okay, yeah, I believe you have something here, or no, I don't think you have anything here. Another quick example. I helped one of my associates get $1 million settlement because she had an incident with her bank. She was about to let it go. I told her, no, based off of what you told me, you don't need to let this go. You need to talk to an attorney. She said, I don't know an attorney. Luckily, I'm always dealing with attorneys. I said, look, I'll give you a number. And my old attorney, he spoke with her and said, no, you have a case. And it took her a little bit over a year, almost 2 years. And finally, the bank settled. And also, the other party that was involved, I believe they sued that other party too. But long story short, she ended up receiving almost $1 million. And I'm not feeding you some type of pie in the sky type thing. I'm telling you, don't let people push you around. And the only way to get your message across to people is to hit their wallets. That is what you have to do with these businesses that are mistreating you and basically doing their form of what I call classism. On my show, The Purple Elephant Show, I mentioned what I believe classism is. Classism is a huge pet peeve of mine. It is a huge pet peeve. Classism is one of the largest threats to the country and the world. Racism, sexism, classism, which racism and sexism is under that, but not really. Classism is a huge thing where one class is treated different than the other class of people. So this group of supporters is treated differently than this group of supporters. It doesn't matter what you believe. Regardless, if you go to a business, you should be treated like everyone else. Also, if you do something for one group, i.e., painting murals, you have to do it for the other group. Because if not, that is a form of classism. You're saying this class of people is better than that class of people. This class of people can paint murals on streets, but this class of people can't. This class of people can stay at hotels because they believe this, but this class of people can't because they believe this. That is classism to me, and I can't stand it. And the only way to get your point across is to start taking them to court. And there are attorneys out there. There are up and coming, hungry attorneys looking to make a name for themselves. Hell, some will do it just for the publicity. They're out there. I need Trump supporters to take the initiative and seek out legal counsel and say, I'm not taking it anymore, for situations where they know something is wrong and they know the facts back them up, like the young lady at the hotel where they said she was banging on doors. Because me personally, I want to see the security camera footage. I want those people who called in saying that she was banging on doors, I want them deposed under oath. Let's see if they have the same story. It amazes me how people have been treated over these past few years. And the crazy thing is, when I was doing my research, because I wanted to find her name, because I felt so bad. And I do a lot of retweets on my Twitter at RealTPES, and then of course Parler, The Purple Elephant Show. On the retweets, I couldn't find it. And I was like, I want to know who she is. So I went through the search engine, DuckDuckGo. When I was going through the search engine, I found something else. Attacks on Trump supporters. That is a rabbit hole I wish I would not have went down, because I thought I knew about a lot of attacks that happened to Trump supporters, but this list was so long and it covered, I believe, 3 to 4 years of attacks on people who have supported the president, just for supporting the president, just for having a different belief. It was disgusting how long that list was. Just as it's disgusting that a hotel would kick someone out just because they support someone who the hotel employees or whoever don't believe in. And that is why I want people, more Trump supporters, to start suing. If you feel the law is on your side, if you feel the facts are on your side, don't let it be a knee-jerk reaction and something happen. It's like, oh, I have to contact an attorney. Take a step back, almost like I did with Facebook. I was like, okay, I'm not going to just go in. Let me wait a few days and see what they do. And I'm glad I did, because the issue is now resolved. I didn't even have to call them. Take a step back, analyze the entire situation. Based off of everything that you've analyzed, if you come to the conclusion that You were treated differently because of what you believe, and the facts are there to back up what your conclusion is. Start taking these people to court, because that is the only way they will stop doing what they are doing. One thing about Republicans, which I'm a registered Republican, but really I'm an independent, but that's no secret. I always say this, and I've been saying it lately. When you stop fighting for what you want, you will get a lot of what you don't want. And that's my political message. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. This has been a really cool experience. I thank those who have been listening to the podcast as well. I just found out I have listeners in Guatemala, of all places, so shout out to Guatemala. Of course, I will be doing episodes of the Purple Elephant Show this weekend, but the rest of this week I will continue with my morning political thought. Thank you again. Be blessed.